my sins are completely on me and only I feel the repercussions for them. You can sin all you want and you have absolution. You have a way out of your sins. I have to fucking wallow in them and face the repercussions and have to deal with the reality that these are my decisions and mine alone, and that they have general repercussions in my life that cannot be absolved after I'm dead.
To be fair to Islam and Judaism, this is something Christianity has got worse than those two. Like Islam has a lot more Sharia teachings than Christianity in some other aspects. But when it comes to the concept of sin, Christianity is the worst, because at least in Islam, there's two types of sins. There's the sins against man and sins against God. So if you sin against God, you ask God for forgiveness and he'll forgive you, except if you do shirk, which is unforgivable, having partners to God. But if you if you sin against man, you can't go ask God for forgiveness without having the person that you wronged forgive you first, right? So you have to. So in Islam, if you sin against man, you can't go directly to God. You have to go to the person that you've wronged, and you need their forgiveness to get rid of that sin. Yeah. So in Christianity, though,
a petulant person could prevent you from going to heaven, though. Like you could do a minor sin against a dick, and that dick could be the reason you don't get to go to heaven, even though you're generally.
No, you go to heaven eventually. Okay. So if you're a Muslim, you will eventually go to heaven. Only non-Muslims will always stay they will always stay in hell. Oh. But as a Muslim, you'll go to hell for a period of time. You pay for the sins that were not forgiven. After you spend your time in hell, then you will graduate to heaven. Which always made me wonder, because if I was burned for thousands of years, I will have such a I wouldn't be able to enjoy heaven. I would be burning heaven. Yeah, I would
slept with that guy's wife that one time.
No, we even had a story about this guy that kept on making sure that he bought all his sins. He made sure he had no sins. He always made sure that he asked God for forgiveness, and he asked everybody around for forgiveness. But there was this one guy that he borrowed some money from, and it was and he tried to pay it back. But he died before he could pay back the money. He went to his shop and he threw the coin under the door, but that guy was already dead. So he had a dream that he's in hell and the coin were hot and it was on his skin because he didn't pay the man back before he died, right? So I was like, I mean, he tried. What the hell?
Psychological trauma, too. Oh, my God. All that psychological trauma that you would feel trying to go through the motions of getting that absolution and worried, what if I die tomorrow? I'm going to go to hell. I'm so close. It's 3 installments away.
Also, if I was in heaven as a Muslim, and my parents were still in hell, I really don't understand how you would be able to enjoy heaven like that. They tell us we ask our teachers, how could I enjoy heaven if my parents are screaming in pain in hell? They say that when you go to heaven, you understand the logic of this thing so well that not only you would be okay with it, there's actually a special observatory area that you go. There's a special part of heaven where you get to go watch the people in hell. And you will enjoy them burning in hell because you know how much they deserve it. Yeah, that's fucked up.
Okay. Brian G says, any God that would burn anyone for unbelieving is a piece of shit asshole God that deserves neither love nor worship. I would agree. Vikram Parahu sent a super chat with no message. So thank you for that. Qiyasa, refutation. In a world dominated by an omnipresent, omniscient, and omnipotent being, the responsibility of every outcome solely falls onto the being that holds all of those traits. Vikram Parahu, do you plan on having a talk in Vancouver anytime soon, Armin?
If anybody... Okay, so I'm shit at organizing events. So if any group organizes an event and wants me to come and speak, I will say yes. Yeah, for sure. I will just plan something and I'll show up and speak at it for sure. Especially if you're a mosque or a Muslim club, student club. I'm if you want to have a friendly debate or a friendly discussion, or if you want to be a mosque that be like, hey, look, we're Muslims, we're so tolerant, we even have ex-Muslims come speak at our mosque. If you want to show how tolerant you are, then do that, right? So so if there are any Muslims or Muslim student clubs or anybody like that would be interested to come have me as a co-panelist or something like that, I would be honored to show up.
Cool. Bombay asks, Armin, do you think that the people who identify themselves under a religion are indirectly endorsing the extreme sides? For an example, a moderate Muslims and ISIS.
Yeah, but yes, they are, but unknowingly. So don't hate them for it, right? So yes, moderate Muslims or moderate whatever, they are endorsing a book that is indefensible, right? They're giving legitimacy and authority to a book that is used for evil, a book that doesn't deserve no excuses and no protection, a book that endorses slavery, and a book that endorses wife beating. A book that endorses rape, a book that endorses torture of people that don't believe in the book. They're providing excuses for all of that, but that's not a good reason for you to hate them, because they are doing all of that not on purpose, right? Sure. If they don't want to endorse rape. Most Muslims do not like wife beating, and they do not want to endorse wife beating. Most Muslims do not agree with slavery, and they would never wish to endorse anything that endorses slavery. So yeah, even though they are doing it, they are not doing it on purpose. So don't hate them for it.
Can I say one quick thing to back up Armin there for a sec? There's two components. Like if you look at a legal system, at least in Canada, there's two components that need to be taken into consideration whenever you're litigating anything. One is mens rea and one is actus rea. Mens rea is the intention to cause harm, and actus rea is the action that caused the harm. You need to have both present in order to be able to penalize somebody for the harm that they caused. Because you can do something ignorantly. You can have actus rea without mens rea. You can harm somebody without the intent to do so. It's the intention that is the mitigating factor that needs to be considered, that people exclude because they're so focused on the harm that they don't realize that that might not be the intention.
And the counter to that is people are saying that, oh, well, good intention doesn't, the road to hell is paved with a good intention. Yeah, we're not saying that people with good intention don't cause harm. We're actually acknowledging that people with good intention could cause harm. But we're saying it's not, but the intention does matter, because you have to understand, if you want to solve a problem, you have to understand the intentions. We're not saying good intentions always lead into good results. We're actually saying the exact, we're actually acknowledging that that's not always the case. But taking the intention into consideration, it will lead you into coming up with better solutions. If you blame people for things that they did not intend, if you demonize people for things that they did not intend, that's not the most effective solution to the problem.
Okay. Brantley, when are they going to get to the super chats? We just did. RPG Gamer Guy. It's just people who we should have a disconnection with. It's the dangerous ideologies that religion spreads. We should have a disconnection with. Beverly Brantley, love you two the most of all. Shane says, no, you. Iso Lycan, your pain is my bucks, Kyle. Thank you. My unfinished journey. I'd love to hear Armin's story. Trillian says, cheers to you at NonSec. Keep up the great work. Thank you very much. And I think there's one more. Let's see. Oh, no, there's three more. Oh man. Minute Nugent says passive aggressive, typical Christian response. True. Screw that jerk. I think that was to you, Pragmatic Culture. Taliesin.
Poor Prag.
I know. In Jenna, can we enjoy Cinnamon Toast Crunch? You should be able to enjoy Cinnamon Toast Crunch everywhere. I actually have it
That's not food.
right here on display.
Not food.
S-Winger Shannon. Dave,
It's
I'm
not
not getting
food.
Shannon's connection. I'm not getting a connection from Shannon. Can we reset
Everybody
her
heard me. It's
link?
not food.
S-Winger
Not
says,
food.
let's start a religion. Don't believe in what we say. Let's start a religion. We can blind our eyes with faith. Dance, Gavin, dance. Inspire the liars. Perfect. Well, that was fascinating. I would like to thank Armin once again for stopping by, and my lovely co-host Shannon. As always, a pleasure to have you here, and we look forward to your chat with Rand Campbell.
What is
anything you guys? I'll send you the date next week. I'm putting the calendar together either today or tomorrow. Do either of you have anything that you'd like to plug or promote before we close out?
I have a channel. It's called Shannon Q. You can subscribe to it. It's awesome. I think it's the best channel in the world, including NonSec. It's significantly better, objectively better than this channel. But also, I want Armin to come back for two reasons. I want to watch him debate somebody, and I need everybody to hear his story. Holy Kool-Aid did a video where I saw his whole story.
Oh yeah. And also Seth Andrews as well. Beej mentioned in the live chat. Seth Andrews as well. Yeah, Holy Kool-Aid. Where is he? I missed him. Yeah.
Oh, I talked to him all the time.
By the way, Seth Andrews is so. Can I mention how much I love Seth Andrews? This guy is like he's like the largest atheist podcast in the world, and he's like he constantly promotes and supports us little people. Like, I don't know, like he's so great. He's so amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And also shout out to Drew and also
I can't allow that.
Oh, Cosmic. Oh, by the way, Cosmic Skeptic did an interview with me I was the first for his podcast. He's having a podcast coming out. Yeah, so I'm going to be on his first episode. I'm going to be the first episode of his podcast. Who else? Oh, Beej and Christy in the live chat. I miss you both. By the way, Beej, I don't know if you guys know. Christy, I can see she's an admin here. Great choice of an admin. Beej should be an admin. She's great.
Beej is fantastic. I interact with Beej constantly. She is a super fan of everybody.
Make her admin.
If you'll comment, I can't. I will.
Kyle did it.
I will dub you with a wrench, Beej, if you tag me in the chat. Okay, guys.
Drew is saying in the live chat, if you didn't shout me out, I would have put you in the oven, Armin.
But he loves you.
But he loves you. By the way, shout out to us as well, Atheist Republic. Check out our YouTube channel. Become a member at atheistrepublic.com. And also, I also have to correct this because a lot of people always saying, "Oh, Armin, great job at Atheist Republic." Atheist Republic, there's so many people responsible for Atheist Republic. I just started it, right? So I always have to remind people that I don't deserve all the credit, right? Atheist Republic is so huge. That is way more, and it goes into so many different directions that people are like, some of it is completely out of my control. Some of it is very left wing. Some of it is very right wing. So it's a beast of its own. But there's a lot of people responsible for it. Allie Jackson, shout out to her. So we have more than 200 volunteers there. So, and a lot of times they post stuff that people don't like, but given that they are volunteering their time, all I have to say to them is thank you.
Perfect. Well, guys, we'll be back tomorrow. Make sure that you subscribe to check out the Atheist Republic and subscribe to Shannon Q. Their links will be in the descriptions once we close out of here. And I just added the link for genetically modified skeptics video that he did as well, and you can check that out. And we'll be back here tomorrow. Yes, sir.
Oh, Matt Rose is mentioning secular. Matt Rose is a secular jihadist fan. Shout out to our podcast with Ali Rizvi, secular jihadist as well. Sorry, I usually give shout out to other people.
You don't have time for all of this. you do too much shit, Armin.
I just gave you
you need a podcast for Armin's shit.
I gave you a rich. You
I just want to make sure I don't piss anybody off by not mentioning them.
Sure.
No, I respect.
All right, guys.
I respect
We'll
it. I'm
be
just
back
messing with you.
tomorrow at